This is Safe Food, Safe Communities Unit 2, Clean. In this unit, we will be learning about how and when to clean food, utensils, and surfaces to prevent the spread of harmful pathogens. There are several things that need to be cleaned in the kitchen. First is your hands. To do this, first rub your hands under warm water. Next, add soap to your hands and start scrubbing. Be sure to scrub in between fingers and under fingernails. You should scrub your hands for 20 seconds or about as long as it takes to sing Happy Birthday twice. The soap can be rinsed off with warm water and your hands can be dried with a clean towel or disposable paper towel. Now that your hands are clean, you might want to wear gloves. Be sure to dispose of gloves and wash your hands again if you touch raw meat, your hair, or unclean surfaces. Make sure you are using soap when washing your hands. This is because soap loosens any dirt or pathogens on our hands. This makes it easier for dirt and pathogens to wash off. Hands are much cleaner after they are washed with soap than if they were just washed with water. Make sure plenty of soap is available to everyone handling or serving food. Antimicrobial soap is not necessary when washing hands. It is usually more expensive and not any more effective than regular soap. If there is not running water available and your hands are free of dirt and not visibly dirty, hand sanitizer can be used. To use hand sanitizer, apply a dime to quarter size amount of the product and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. Use only hand sanitizer that is greater than 60% alcohol. You should be able to find this information on the product packaging. Hand sanitizer does not replace soap and water, but is an acceptable alternative when soap and water is not available. When cooking for large groups, do not choose a location without running water. Lastly, hand sanitizer can only be used on hands. Do not put hand sanitizer on surfaces or utensils. It is not enough to only wash your hands once before you start cooking or serving. Here is a list of times you should wash your hands provided by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. You should wash your hands before eating, before and after caring for someone who is sick, before and after treating a wound, after using the toilet, after changing a diaper, after blowing your nose, after touching an animal, after handling a pet or pet food, and after touching garbage. This does not include every reason you should wash your hands, but it gives some great examples. It is important to clean surfaces, cutting boards, dishes, knives, and other utensils after you use them. Using an unclean dish can spread harmful bacteria to ready-to-serve foods or spread bacteria around the kitchen. Make sure spills are cleaned up promptly. Utensils can be sanitized in 1 gallon of warm water mixed with 1 tablespoon of bleach. Surfaces and utensils should be cleaned often. This includes after they are in contact with raw meat, after they are in contact with clothing or unwashed skin, after being used to taste food, or after being around someone who has sneezed or coughed, just to name a few. When in doubt, wash the surfaces again. Raw fruits and vegetables should be washed before you chop or cook them. To do this, rinse the fruit or vegetable with water and without soap or detergent. This will rinse off any harmful bacteria or chemicals that were on the food item. Even foods that are normally peeled before being used, such as carrots, need to be cleaned. This is because the bacteria on the outside of the carrot can be transferred to the inside of the carrot during the peeling process. Organic foods still need to be washed as well as foods that come from a garden, even if no pesticides were used in the growing process. Make sure foods that need to be washed are washed right before serving. Foods that were washed and left on the counter or in another area could have been in contact with pathogens after they were washed. The only time produce does not need to be washed is if it is labeled as triple washed or thoroughly washed. These products are guaranteed to be pre-washed and can be used right out of the packaging. Actually, it is safer to avoid washing these products. Because the products are guaranteed to be thoroughly washed, it is more likely the pathogens will enter the food item during washing. Do not rinse raw meat. Rinsing raw meat in a sink can cause water to splash out of the sink with bacteria from the meat. This can cause bacteria to spread to other areas of the kitchen without our knowledge and eventually get us sick. The only way to rid meat of bacteria is to cook it until it has reached an internal temperature high enough to kill the bacteria. Once surfaces, utensils, and hands are clean, it is important to keep them clean. In the next unit, we will be learning about how to separate unclean foods and surfaces from clean ones.